Hello, students. How are you? I hope that you all are fine. So, let's begin today's class. In previous class, we came to know that the horse was stolen by Murad, and the horse actually belonged to John Byro. John Byro was very upset because his horse was stolen. He could not come to the city because it was only his horse which helped his survey and he could come. This is the reason he came to Aram's house, but Aram's irritable uncle Khusrov said, "Oh, it's no harm, pay no attention to it." And John Byro, with a broken heart, went back to his house. And then Aram ran to Murad and requested him to keep the horse for the time being until when Aram runs the horse beautifully or he is able to ride the horse beautifully. But Murad's opinion was that Aram would take a year to learn horse riding. But Murad promised him that he would not give back the horse for 6 months at the latest. Within 6 months, Aram should be able to learn horse riding. So early every morning they went on riding. So okay, we are going to start from this stanza. It's page number 5th of your chapter. So it is early morning. For 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it and rode it. So it was their daily routine. They took the horse and went for a ride. And every morning, the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapevines and small trees and threw me and ran away. Whenever it was Aram's turn, the horse was also not comfortable with Aram. It leapt over grapevines and small trees and it made Aram fell down and it alone ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in time to learn to ride the way my cousin Murad rode. Aram thought that he would be able to ride the horse the way his cousin was riding. Here comes a twist. One morning, on the way to Fetvazian's deserted vineyard, where they were going to to hide the horse, we ran into means to meet suddenly. We ran into the farmer John Byro, who was on his way to town. They are with the horse, and they met the real owner of the horse on the way. That was John Byro. Let me do the talking, my cousin Murad said. I have a way with farmers. Like always, Murad wanted to take over the situation. He said, "Let me do the talking because I have a way with farmers." If you remember, this dialogue Murad is speaking for the third time in the text. First time he said, "I have a way with horses." Then he said, "I have a way with birds." When he, you can say, treated the wing of a robin and the robin flew away in the air. At that time he said, "I have a way with birds." And now he says, "Let me talk to him. I have a way with farmers." "Good morning, John Byro," my cousin Murad said to the farmer. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. Studied is not like studying the book, it's to look very, you can say, attentively and carefully. The farmer looked the horse very carefully and eagerly. Eagerly is means with lots of excitement. And he wished back to the boys. He said, "Good morning, son of my friends." He said, "What's the name of your horse?" The owner of the horse is asking Aram and Murad about his horse named by them. "What's the name of your horse?" "My heart," my cousin Murad said in Armenian. In Armenian language, he said something which meant my heart. "A lovely name," John Byro said, "for a lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago." Looking at the horse, John Byro said, "I could swear. I'm so sure that this is the horse which was stolen from me many weeks ago. I could." Then he said, "May I look into his mouth?" He's taking permission to look into the mouth of his own horse from Aram and Murad. So he sought permission and he said, May I look into his mouth? Of course, Murad said. Very confidently, very calmly, he said, of course. The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse too. And he said, tooth for tooth, he said. Means, tooth for tooth means my tooth of my horse and tooth of this horse are very same. I would swear it is my horse if, see carefully, if I didn't know your parents. If I didn't know about your parents that they belonged to Garoghalanian family, which is very popular, that is the reason I think this horse is not my horse. Okay. The fame of your family for honesty is well known to me, yet the horse is the twin of my horse. He doesn't say it's my horse. He says, because you belong to Garoghalanian family, so you can't steal my horse. But I can say that this horse is the twin of my horse. It's just like my horse. Because of the popularity of their honesty since ages, even looking practically the horse in front of him, John Byro said, no, you can't be the thieves because I know your family. So what he concluded, he said, this is the twin of my horse. A suspicious man, suspicious full of doubts, would believe his eyes instead of his heart. John Byro was believing on his heart that the member of this family cannot be a thief. But if he says further that if I would have been a man, a suspicious man, I would have definitely thought that this is my horse. Good day, my young friends. He wished them and he went away without taking his horse and thinking that this horse, which was there with Aram and Murad, was actually like his horse and it was not his horse. The horse which he was finding since last more than a month, it was in front of him. He was facing a lot of troubles. His left leg pained him. His saray was just useless. But still he said, no, it's not my horse. It's the twin of my horse. Why? Just because of that honesty quality of Garoghalanian family. Early the following morning, the next day, we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. This incident actually shook the inner conscience of both the boys. They thought that Aram and Murad thought that their honesty was at stake because of their this act. अगर वो ऐसा एक्ट करते हैं फ्यूचर में पता चलता है नहीं भी पता चलता है देयर इनर कंसाइंस नोज दिस दैट दे आर डूइंग समथिंग रॉन्ग विद देयर ऑनेस्टी. If you do something wrong, it's not necessary that you will be punished for that wrong work. Maybe the people would not come to know that you have done something wrong, but one person is there who always knows you are wrong, and that is you only. Your inner conscience will definitely tell you, even before doing it, that you are going to do wrong. And if you do something wrong, that will be there in your inner conscience forever. And when your inner conscience pricks you, when your inner conscience blames you, it's very impossible to live your life happily. Although you will be having a lots of things, beauty and happiness and money and prosperity and health and everything, but that wrong work will always chase you. So that is the reason, always listen to your inner conscience. Spend some time with yourself and do what your inner conscience says it is right, so that you don't have to repent in your coming life. That's what Aram and Murad did. Although they liked horse riding, poor Aram, he was not able to ride the horse properly, but their inner conscience pricked them and they came back to return John Byro's horse. Early the following morning, we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. Again, there were horses in John Byro's vineyard, but looking at the horse, the dogs also didn't bark. If the dogs would have barked, John Byro would have come and I could have seen Aram and Murad, but the dogs did not bark. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad. Aram, who was very afraid of all kind of things, He was afraid of that they would be caught, so he asked Murad, "Look, the dogs. I thought they would bark." And Murad said beautifully, "They would at somebody else." He said, "I have a way with dogs." He said कि these dogs would bark at somebody else. I am very special because I have a way with dogs. Fourth time usage of this dialogue. I have a way with. My cousin Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it to show love with the help of your palms. And then we went away. So Murad very lovingly put the horse there, and Aram and Murad went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to our house in his surrey because now he was having his horse, so he didn't come on foot. He came in his surrey and showed my mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. He very happily came to house of Aram and Murad and told Aram's mother that the horse was returned. I do not know what to think, he said. John Byro said, I don't know what to think. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered too. Earlier it was short tempered, the horse didn't obey his owner, but now it is better tempered. I thank God. My uncle Khusro, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted, Quiet, man, quiet. Your horse has been returned? Pay no attention to it. This is his pet dialogue, so he would say this, but the horse was kept very lovingly and carefully by Murad. That is the reason the horse was stronger than ever and it was better tempered too. But uncle is uncle, he said, pay no attention to it. So, in this way, Aram and Murad returned the horse, and your assignment is to solve these three questions. You will probably agree that this story doesn't have breathless adventure and exciting action. Then, what, in your opinion, makes it interesting? There is no adventure, okay? There is no action. So, what is this which makes it interesting? Did the boys return the horse because they were conscience stricken or because they were afraid? This you will have to tell. Third is, one day back there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. This is the dialogue of Aram. So the story begins in a mood of this. So you will have to tell how Aram actually had his life beautifully for the days in the chapter you have seen.